Doing this for my dad. He wants me to teach him how to do family history work, but he is in Arizona and I'm in Pennsylvania, so here we go, Dad. Alright, so you log in here, FamilySearch.org. When you come up, the first thing that you see is this page, and on the side here you have recommended tasks. If you don't really know where to start, this is a good place. Let's start. This green means that these people have ordinances that can be reserved. If they were born less than 110 years ago, then you're supposed to go and get permission from their closest relative. Okay, so we're gonna check out James O'Neill because he has this blue one. The blue one is suggestions. So let's click on James O'Neill. Okay, so James O'Neill. I always go here first, research help. Before you look at all this stuff, because I know it's a lot of information, it gets super overwhelming. But just look over here, this little blue thing is our friend. We click on this and it says this is a record hint. So we're going to go down, review and attach. Don't need to look at anything until you get to this page, the source linker page. Now this is pretty streamlined and very simple, so that's what we're looking for. Here we have James, his wife, and the son. Okay, so in this column you have the record. So whatever it is, it's like a some sort of census, or well, let's see what it is. It's probably like a marriage certificate or something. So we know from the marriage certificate that there was a James, he had a wife Isabella, and he had a son Arthur that was born on that year. So this over here is the person that we just, so this person right here that we just looked at. So we're supposed to determine whether this person and this person are the same. So let's take a look. James O'Neill, the name's the same, that's a good start. Isabella M. O'Neill, Isabella M. That's another good one. Arthur John O'Neill, 1872. Arthur John O'Neill, 1872. So it looks like they're the same ones. Now James and Isabel and Arthur are all pretty common names. So if I didn't have this date to make sure that it's the right Arthur, then I would probably not attach this yet. But the birthdays, the dates good, and all the names match exactly. So, oh sorry, I didn't tell you what I was doing there. So I just attached this to that. That means that when you open this guy up, it'll say sources, and it'll bring up this this marriage certificate. Alright, so let's compare Isabel. Now, even though we know all of this is going to match, we go down here and attach, and it just connects those. And let's compare Arthur. Yeah, and so here we have even more information that matches. So this is definitely the same Arthur because it's exact same birthday, exact same place. So okay, so we attached everyone. That's good. Everything's good. Oh my goodness, look at all these boys and all these kids. Yeah, we don't want to deal with that right now. Okay, source linker. So we're done with that, and I usually refresh things. So let's do another one for fun. It's probably going to be the same exact. It'll probably be the same record actually. Let's see. James O'Neill, Isabella, 1875. Yeah, it looks like pretty much the same. So just going to click attach. Even just doing this is super easy, right? I mean, as long as you just do this for like an hour, anyone can do that. Not saying you're dumb, Dad, but this is not too bad, not too hard. Okay, so I skipped this one because that was the one we just did. I just didn't refresh it. Review and attach. Now this one already has the wife and the son attached. So for some reason, someone either forgot or didn't want to attach James O'Neill. I don't know why they didn't do that, but I'm gonna assume that it is. It's a pretty good assumption, The fun thing is when you get names on the left side that you don't have on the right side. That means that you have new people to put in and to research. All right, sometimes something I do, if there's a mess, like if it says over here, like let's see, possible missing child, let's show all. Sometimes in these it'll be red and it'll say, mom was born, or child was born before mother was born, like really weird stuff. You're like, this is obviously has a lot of messes. And so that's when, like, it's a little overwhelming. So what I'll do is I'll get in someone's record and I'll go to sources. Now this person has 102 sources attached. So for some reason there's a bunch of records for these people. Probably just a bunch of repeated records. Some of them might be, right. Some of them might be wrong. See, it says here that I was the person that attached the last 4. And then we got these other people here that are also working on this guy. Looks like William's been busy. And Rebecca. Okay. So what I usually do is start at the very bottom. I wouldn't do this on James because everything seems fine. But if it was a big mess, I'd go, oh my goodness, that's a lot of... Okay, so I would go here. A lot of times the first source down here is the one, this is the first one that was attached. A lot of times this will be done by FamilySearch, and it'll say this was used to create the record. So basically whoever is in this record is the person that they meant this to be. So you look at view source, and then sometimes it does good to actually look at that, but it's, especially with the older ones, it's just kind of fun, but you don't really get much out of it. So right now we know James, he was married 26th of May. He married, Mary McCarthy. Okay, now you see a problem, don't you? So James O'Neill's son married Mary McCarthy, and James's mother's name is Margaret. Now, I don't remember if that was what her name was. Let me go over here to details. James O'Neill, go down a little bit, and there. Wait a minute. No, it is that. I'm so confused. Okay, now we're looking at it is kind of a mess, right? Because right here we've got James married to Hannah. Here we have James married to nobody, a mystery woman with all these children. Here we have him married to Isabella. That's the one that we were putting in, right? That's the one that we are familiar with. So I'm feeling a little bad because it might be that Isabella isn't. This is a different James. So let's look at this one. C. This one's married to C. James C. The fact that they have this many wives suggests that there's some issues with it. We're going to start at the bottom of the sources. This is the very first source, I think. This is the way it works. Let's see. This was attached April 26th. Yeah, right. And the rest is November. Wait. Oh, no, it's not the same because this is 2020 and this is 2214. I wonder why those are below this detailed view. Oh, that sounds good, actually. Options. Oh, never done this before. Custom order. What kind of custom order? Oh, we can do it. Cool. Let's do chronological. Okay, so family history started in 2014. Found this Massachusetts birth and christening record and said, well, we need to make a new person for that. So they made a new person. So this James O'Neill is the one. This is the one that we're going to try to stay faithful to. So James O'Neill married to Mary O'Neill, daughter Ellen O'Neill. Okay. Fall River, Bristol, Massachusetts. So we're going to try to get really familiar with this little family right now, because if something doesn't jive here, we're going to know that it's not an appropriate record to attach. So that we can we can detach it from this James and make a different James O'Neill, or find the one it's supposed to be. Okay, so Ellen is the daughter, James is the dad, Mary's the wife. Ellen was born 8 September 1852. So remember Fall River, Bristol, Massachusetts, because we should see that a lot in the records. Back in the old days, they didn't move around very much. They all pretty much stayed in the same area for their whole lives, unless they came over to America from someplace. So let's look at the next one and see if that one jives with this one. So I'm going to close this one, make it a little less. Actually, I'm going to keep it open, just so I don't get lost. Alright, this is the next one. Soon after the computer system found that and made someone, William Overstreet was like, hey, I'm going to add something else. So let's look. Let's see if William Overstreet knew what he was doing. Okay, James, yes, he's male. Mary Catherine O'Neill. Okay, so this is a different daughter. And the daughter is born 1852. Alright, so Mary and James, you couldn't get names much more common than that. So you can't really go by, and I'm sure O'Neill was a very common name too. So really what we're going to look at here is the place and the event. Now Boston, I don't know how close Boston is to Massachusetts. Or, oh my gosh, it's late. Fall River, Bristol, and Boston, Bristol. Is that what it was? No, Suffolk. So it's a different area. Now the dates are similar, 1852 and 1852. Wait, this is 8th of September and the October. Now that doesn't make a lot of sense. A month later she had another baby. So I'm already thinking that this one here is not the right Mary and James. So I'm sorry, William, but you messed up. Just to double check, I'm gonna Google Boston and where was the other place? Fall River. Okay, so Fall River to Boston. Okay, so with a car, that would take 53 minutes. Yeah, that would take like a week or something by horse and buggy. I don't know. So that's another reason I'm thinking that this is not the same one. Now, I can't definitively say it's not because, for example, maybe this birthday is wrong. And if this birthday is wrong, it's possible that they could have moved to Boston and, had another kid. So I'm going to wait to detach this for just a minute. I'm going to give William one more try, see if he can redeem himself. Alright, so second is very suspicious. Basically, Caden's just following suit. Because William put in something wrong, this one is both the second and the third sources need to be attached to a different James O'Neill. That's where it gets kind of complicated. You have to be very, very sure that what you're doing is right, because you're going to make a lot of enemies. Because everyone that's been working on that, sometimes they get notifications and they'll say, this person changed that, and they'll be like, what is he doing? He erased my grandma or something. So, and it's kind of a complicated process to make a new person and attach all this stuff, and that'll be for another video. What a mess. Hey, that's my sister. Looks like my sister's been working on this one. Let's hope she knows what she's doing, otherwise I'm going to have to call her and be like, girl, you embarrassed the family. Alright, thanks, see ya.